HD. This is 13 Eyewitness News at 11 a.m.
Busted across the border, the man wanted for the violent murder of a Houston mother is now behind bars after being arrested in Mexico. Thanks for joining us for Eyewitness News at 11 this morning. I'm Art Rascone.
And I'm Melanie Lawson. Less than 2 weeks after a Houston mother was killed while at work, police now say they have their man.
Yeah, Osvaldo Fernandez Aguilar was arrested in Cancun, Mexico, and now back to face murder charges.
Eyewitness News reporter Damon Fernandez is live downtown with more on the arrest. Good morning, Damon.
Good morning, Melanie. And that accused man's arrest is uncovering some more disturbing details, not only about that murder, but about some other alleged crimes. Police back here say the man told them he's addicted to crack cocaine. Now, it's taken about 2 weeks for police to track down Osvaldo Fernandez Aguilar. Investigators say that 23-year-old former security guard from Eclipse Gentlemen's Club fled to Mexico and was about to board a boat to Cuba when Mexican law enforcement helped arrest him for the murder of Maria Lucrecia. That 27-year-old pregnant mother was a janitor at the Eclipse Gentlemen's Club. Investigators say she was working when Fernandez Aguilar made his way into the club, strangled and beat her to death, then emptied the club's cash box of about $1,000. Surveillance video from businesses near that club generated Crime Stoppers tips that helped police identify Fernandez Aguilar. Right now, he's charged with capital murder, and earlier this week, Eclipse managers told Eyewitness News he was fired after numerous complaints over his fighting and arguing with customers.
According to him, he's got a crack cocaine habit, and that he knew that there was money there in the club. You know, he didn't know Maria Lucrecia was going to be there. They have 2 cleaning people at that club, and he thought it was probably the male cleaning person. And when he knocked on the door, he grabbed her by the arm and led her into that pathway that I showed you on the tile floor, and that's where he, brutally murdered her right there.
Now, police uncovered a lot more details during a news conference that just wrapped up a moment ago. They also told us how Fernandez Aguilar told them how the victim pleaded for her life as he was killing her. They say that he also told them why he did it, and they also said that he's linked to possibly 2 other armed robberies of women in that area. They're investigating that as well, and I can tell you that we have contacted the victim's family. They say that they've sent her body to Guatemala to be buried. Downtown outside police headquarters, Damon Fernandez, 13 Eyewitness News.
All right, Damon, thank you so much. Well, now we want to turn to the weather, and we started off on a great note, although some strong storms rolled through very early this morning.
Yeah, some in the northern areas getting some very strong storms, in fact, but this weekend's shaping up to be a very different story.
Oh, man.
You were hoping for bright, sunny skies.
I'm always hoping for bright, sunny skies on a weekend. Sometimes, it happens. A lot of times it doesn't.
All right, meteorologist Travis Herzog, take it away.
Hey, you can always hope.
Yes.
There was that one time I was wrong, so, but it does look like rain is going to be blowing back in for the weekend. Here's a look at the radar loop from earlier. Very strong storms rumbled from College Station to Huntsville to Livingston. Had reports of some downed trees on FM 1791 southwest of Huntsville. But we pretty much dodged the majority of the rain here in Houston, and now we've just got some beautiful weather. Take a look at this snapshot from our Fort Bend County weather cam in full share. It is gorgeous outside, and it's going to be like this for the rest of the day. I might have to call in sick after this newscast. We'll see. 67 degrees our current temperature at Hobby Airport. North wind is just rocking along at just under 20 miles per hour, gusts closer to 30. And as you plan the rest of your day, get ready for more beautiful weather. 74 at 3 with the north wind continuing. Mid-60s at 9, perhaps light jacket weather if you'll be out this evening. We start off tomorrow cloudy, cool, and dry, but we end with rain and even more coming on Sunday. I'll walk you through a wet weekend ahead coming up in your forecast.
All right, Travis, I guess we can't be mad at the messenger. But now to the very latest on that deadly shoot. Oh, actually, first we want to tell you to keep the very latest weather information in the palm of your hand, no matter where you are, by using our ABC 13 AccuWeather app. You can download it for free from the App Store or Google Play. And now we want to turn to the latest on the deadly shootings at Fort Hood. Army officials now say the accused gunman, Ivan Lopez, was being treated for mental health issues and may have been in an argument leading up to the shootings.
Yeah, in the end, 3 soldiers, as you know, were killed. 16 others were wounded before Lopez turned the gun on himself. Eyewitness News reporter Samika Knight live at Fort Hood with much more on how the community there once again just trying to heal from an awful tragedy. This, of course, bringing back memories of that awful one taking place just a few years ago. Samika.
Absolutely. People here in the Killeen community say this is all too familiar to them. A deadly mass shooting on post at Fort Hood. And now, as the community mourns, they are also trying to show support for the soldiers and their families. And for one local church, it's through American flags and 3 small painted crosses.
And it's to support the soldiers, to let them know that the whole community cares.
Beneath the wooden cross at the Central Christian Church in Killeen are 16 American flags for the injured, and below that, 3 white crosses for the soldiers killed Wednesday on post at Fort Hood.
We just care for them and their families, and we want to do something to show them that we really care.
Mary Butler's husband, one of the church members behind this display, to help the Fort Hood community heal and try to move forward.
The soldiers and the civilians both come and stop and go out, and some kneel at the crosses.
A tough task after Wednesday's deadly attack, where Army officials say 34-year-old Iraq War veteran Ivan Lopez walked into 2 Fort Hood buildings and opened fire, killing 3 soldiers and wounding 16 others before taking his own life. Investigators say Lopez may have been involved in an argument before that shooting, but they say they do not know his motive. Mary Butler says right now her church community is rallying around their soldiers in hopes that a small display will help them heal.
We just have a feeling of pride in the community. We can display these flags and let them know we care.
They're doing live shots. Let's gather right over here.
Now, soldiers I spoke to say things are getting back to normal on post now. We should mention Lopez was being treated for mental health issues, but he was not diagnosed for PTSD. I can tell you we are awaiting a press conference from Governor Rick Perry, who today is visiting with injured soldiers. Reporting live at Fort Hood, Samika Knight, 13 Eyewitness News.
You know, Samika, it is so disturbing as we listen to all the accounts here, but really the question is what made this guy snap? I mean, what set him off? We know that he's been through a history of psychological care here, but something had to make him snap. But have they been able to figure anything out yet?
They have not been able to figure that out, or at least they're not releasing that information. They say they are looking for a motive. They have mentioned that there is a possibility that there was an altercation, some sort of argument before that shooting. A family spokesperson for Lopez saying that he was angry about the fact that he did not feel he received enough time off for his mother's funeral. Of course, investigators are looking into all of that. They are right now just trying to find a motive.
All right, Samika, and we saw all those reporters headed over for the press conference, so we'll let you go. Appreciate the update this morning. Also, we should tell you this morning that 4 of the victims from Wednesday's shooting remain in the hospital. Officials with Scott and White Memorial Hospital say 3 of those patients are now in serious condition. The 4th considered to be in good condition, which means they've been upgraded. One of the victims, Sergeant Keisha Fountain, was shot in the stomach while trying to talk the gunman down. The hospital's trauma director says their conditions are continuing to improve, and he is optimistic that no one else will die of their injuries. Stay with Eyewitness News for the very latest on the investigation into the Fort Hood shooting. We'll have continuing coverage on air, online, and also on our mobile apps.
An early morning fire destroyed an abandoned home in southwest Houston, and neighbors there say they are glad it's gone. Firefighters were able to quickly get it under control. Neighbors claim the house has been vacant since a murder took place there many years ago. It has become an eyesore in the neighborhood since.
Nothing materialized until today. And to be honest with you, I'm very happy. I have nothing, cares for nothing.
Arson investigators still looking into what may have sparked this fire.
While responding to a robbery, Houston police found themselves in a high-speed chase with the suspects. It all started when officers tried to stop an SUV on Hammerly and Peck. It all came to an end near Beverly Hill in southwest Houston. The suspects threw a wallet from the car during the chase and ditched their SUV at an apartment complex. The 2 men and 1 woman inside were caught before they were able to run away. Right now, the driver is the only person facing charges. Police are not sure if there was an actual robbery.
And a violent robbery at a northwest Houston grocery store, all caught on camera. Police are now hoping someone recognizes the 5 crooks. The suspects robbed the food fair on Little York back on March the 14th. Here they are. After forcing customers to the ground, they escaped in a silver Dodge Avenger. Thousands of dollars were stolen from a check-cashing business in that store. Now, if you have any idea of who these crooks might be, call Crime Stoppers 713-222-TIPS.
Well, the manager of a Chacho's restaurant has been suspended after a fight between customers and employees was all caught on camera and posted on our Facebook page. The CEO of the restaurant says the customer was trying to leave that place on Westheimer and Greenridge with alcohol, which is illegal. The employees called the police, but then the manager tried to make the customers leave before officers arrived on the scene. And that's when this brawl broke out.
It's absolutely horrible, especially because everybody in that restaurant were attacking these people and everybody got involved, and it looked like a ridiculous school fight, like a high school fight over nothing. I think it's terrible.
There was even a woman with a baby who somehow got involved there. You can see her in the foreground. The incident is still being investigated. Well, still ahead, a hit and run is caught on tape, but it is not your typical crash.
Yeah, coming up, we're going to have the ski slope collision that left a young boy badly injured. And we're going to tell you what he wants now from the man who just didn't stop to help.
I'm Elisa Rivas in Tomball. Coming up, robbers hit not one but two convenience stores in this community last night. We'll tell you how police plan to catch them coming up.
Plus, a high school student finds a sweet solution to her college tuition problem, how she's finding the dough to go to school.
You're watching ABC 13, Houston's news leader.